I guess my first area to talk about was definitely the Santa Clarita Valley. I spent 12 months there in 3 different wards in one stake. And so I really, really love the Santa Clarita Valley. It's so beautiful. It's a really, really beautiful city, and they water their grass and they water everything. And so it's super, super green. Santa Clarita is the city. It's the city of Santa Clarita. But then there's also like little different cities, like Stevenson Ranch is a city in there, and New Hall's also a city there. And there's different areas. So Santa Clarita Valley, it's really cool because I heard this story from several people of how the church started there. And the story is that the first meeting, LDS church meeting that was held there was held in a chicken coop. And I think that's how all church meetings, like whenever a church, I feel that's how they always start off, is in a chicken coop, and then they go into a farmhouse and then they build their own chapel, and specifically in the Valencia half of the Santa Clarita Valley. It's really, really green. There's new developments going up left and right, and they're really expanding a lot of young families. And in the kind of the older established parts, a lot of well-to-do people. And so a lot of people aren't home throughout the day. A lot of people are working down in LA, or shuffling their kids to and from school and their activities. Everyone's really, really, really busy, and they let you know they're really busy. So it was really hard to schedule with people and to be able to talk to everyone. Me and one of my companions, we knocked our area a couple of times because we were trying to talk to everyone, but no one's home. And so you just have to knock the same street over and over again. Hopefully you get different people. And that's how a lot of the Valencia, Santa Clarita is. Just a lot of, trying to door contact people. A lot of people are just busy and they have things to do. And so it's just interesting. It's just what you got to do to be able to talk to the most amount of people, to just try to find the ones that are interested. Santa Clarita Valley is a lot of Caucasians, but there's also a lot of Koreans there. It has a really, really big Korean population. And a lot of, I would say, quite a few Hispanics, but most of them do live in the San Fernando Valley, the Hispanic people. The crime level, I would say, is really, really low. Even though we did have one of our mission cars got broken into. That was just one of them, though. The apartments that you live in are really, really nice. Just because it's such a new city and they're building all the time. And so it's just a really, really nice place to live. Everyone talks about the industry, and it's the film industry. That's when someone says I work in the industry, they're talking about the film industry. So there's a lot of people in a lot of the wards that work in animation. They work in accounting firms for the animation people for Disney. And so a lot of people are... they work in the industry. A lot of the people I taught worked in the industry. One of my recent converts, his name is Oscar, he's the best. But he was a set dresser. So they dressed the sets for shows. He did like Desperate Housewives, and he did the first Pirates of the Caribbean. So it's pretty cool. If you talk to the people there, they all have very, very interesting stories. They all do really, really interesting things for their jobs. So Magic Mountain's cool, but we didn't go to Magic Mountain on preparation day. And it was in my area. It was in my ward area. But a lot of things we do as missionaries, we go on a lot of hikes. There's a lot of places to hike in the Santa Clarita Valley. It's mainly just the high desert, though. So it's... there's a lot of things to do there. You can eat whatever you want. It's very American. You can have Thai food if you want. You can have Japanese food. You can have Mexican food. You can eat pupusas. Whatever you're hungry for, you can find in the Santa Clarita Valley. And the food is always good. And there's lots of desserts and a lot of treats. And there's everything you need, really, in the Santa Clarita Valley. Definitely more expensive. I think our apartments costed around $16,000 a month.
You mean 1,600?
1,600, yeah, 1,600. So our apartment our apartment, I think the range for our apartments was from 900 to 16, but $1,600. But in some areas in the Mission, like you just can't find a cheap apartment like that. So some apartments are like $2,000. So it's pretty pricey to live there, especially if you're living in like Stevenson Ranch or Woodland Hills, or it's just a lot. I mean, the people there, you know, they make a lot of money, and so to live in your area, to live close to your area, sometimes you have to pay a little bit more in your apartment to be able to for it to be accessible.